Such a pleasure to have newly installed West Indies Test captain Roston Chase alongside me for a little chat. Roston, how does this song, what sort of emotion does this phrase evoke? Roston Chase, West Indies Test captain.
Yeah, well, firstly, it brings out joy. It brings out a proud moment for me. Feeling very proud about being Test captain for this region. I mean, many greats have come before me, so it's a very prestigious job. I feel very proud about it, so yeah.
Yeah, just to put it in context, close to 600 Test matches the West Indies have now played. Over 340 players have represented the region, and we've been playing Test match cricket for close to 100 years now, almost a century. But only 37 persons before you have captained this team. You will be the 38th. How significant is that?
Well, that just goes to show you the exclusivity of this job. It's only a select few, a chosen few that get to do it. So as I said before, it's a very proud moment for me in terms of the history of West Indies cricket. It's a privilege and an honor, and I really look forward to taking on the legacy.
Well, let's take it back a little bit, Roston, about your early days and what made you fall in love with this sport. Can you remember that first encounter with cricket?
Yeah, well, from a small lad, 3 years old, 4 years old, obviously I couldn't really remember, but my dad always keep telling me that from the time I was small, I was just in love with the game. He said that I used to be crying all the time, and the only thing that could get me to stop from crying was watching cricket. So I guess I was just born for cricket. So yeah, I mean, growing up, I always loved the game, and then when I understood about the West Indies team and stuff like that, I would wake up early mornings to get out and watch the team play, rallying behind the guys, especially with the likes of like Brian Lara and Curtly Ambrose. Yep. Those guys were very entertaining to watch, so I would never miss a game.
Tell us then, to Roston, about some of the institutions and perhaps people who have been instrumental and influential in your early sort of cricketing career.
Yeah, well, I would say my journey really started at the primary school level. I attended the Wesley Hall Junior School, which was known for being a rich cricketing school.
Right.
I mean, when I first went there, I didn't know that, but after spending a couple of years and then finding out about cricket, I told the coach I was interested in playing cricket, and he said, okay, he will give me a little tryout and see what I can do. And after I had my first tryout, he was very impressed with what he saw, and then he told me to go home and speak to my mom because I was quite young.
Right.
I wasn't, I was thinking in class 1 or class 2, so I needed permission from my mom.
Yes.
So my mom had to come down to the school to talk to the principal and the physical education teacher at that time, Mr. Edwards, for me to get the permission to go over, and that's where it really started. He told me I would open the batting for the team next year, and I was really excited. And then obviously that year came and I played, and then my next year I captained the team to the championship, and then we went back to the championship game again, but we lost in my last year. And so at this time I met Richard Clark. He was very instrumental in my early cricketing days, learning at the Passage Road cricket facility. And then after I set the 11+ exam, I originally passed for Queen's College, but Combermere was the cricketing school. And also I had a big brother who was attending Combermere at that time, so I wanted to be close to him, along with the cricketing legacy of Combermere. So I asked my dad if I could have a transfer, and he was more than happy to make it happen. And I then went to Combermere School, where I came under the wings of Roddy Esway. I had met him before because I always used to go and watch my brother play, and he was the coach. I think what he really instilled with me was the toughness and the discipline, because he's a real strict guy. So you could never slip it around him or not. He would give you some kind of punishment that you would not like. So I was always in line when it came to him. And I think that groomed me into becoming the player that I am at a young age.
I first met Roston at Combermere many years ago, and he showed tremendous leadership qualities. And what people doesn't understand, over a period of time, Roston has captained the Combermere school right through all the age group, senior cricket and all the cricket. He never lost a cricket game. And that's an unbelievable stat that a young man can have. You look back, you play on the 15s, on the 13s, on the 19s, Cigar Fields, Overs competition, the Sajiko Shield, name the competition.
Never lost a game?
He never lost a game, which is, you're looking back at that now, you think, well, he's always been designed to be captain. So I'm really happy to see him get the opportunity.
What was it then about that institution, your secondary school, Combermere, and that period in time that allowed you guys to produce so many West Indian cricketers? Your predecessor, Craig Brathwaite, came from there, your vice captain, Jomel Warrican, and you can name so many others as well.
As a young guy, loving the game of cricket, Combermere was always the school talked about when it came to cricket. So I guess all the guys that really loved the game and were good at it wanted to go to Combermere. So I guess most of the guys put in the effort in terms of the academics to get there. I think what made us even better, it was the competitive nature to never fall behind your peers.
Right.
So you always wanted to say, well, oh, Craig made the under 15 team, I want to be there with Craig, or we can't made the under 15 team or under 17 team. I don't want to fall behind Shane Dorrich.
Right.
We had a lot of good players, and then we had some players that, they never played for the national team, but they were solid. So I think that's where that's what put us above the rest of the schools in terms of our run of being victorious at that level.
I heard you mention your mother a little bit earlier. Tell us a little bit about that ultimatum that she gave you. A couple of years, you give this a shot. If it doesn't work out, you have to go back to school.
Yeah, because at that time it was a ticklish period for me, transitioning from junior cricket into senior cricket. A lot of guys get lost in that transition, because it's not easy coming in as a young player to get straight into a national team. Usually it's the guys that go to the Youth World Cup and perform, gets a little kickstart, a little push towards going into that regional team, but I didn't have that. At that time, things weren't happening for me as quickly as I wanted, and my mom she was getting a little, emotional, and
understandably so.
Yes. So then she told me, Roston, I'm going to give you 2 years. I don't want to take away your dream, but I'm giving you 2 years, because I had already played for Barbados, but I wasn't a
mainstay,
a fixture in the team. I would play a 2-game one season, left out the next season, maybe a 3 this season. So it was up and down for me. So she gave me that ultimatum, and I think that's what really made me work towards getting back into the Barbados team and staying there. Because then now, what I would do, my father got a new car, so he gave the old car to me and my brother.
Right.
So my brother was working at that time, but he goes to work early, 6:30 in the morning, and I want the car to go and do stuff during the day, whether it be good practice or just, having fun or whatever. So I want the car. So I said the only way I could get the car is if I move at 6:30. So I would wake up every morning, 6:30 with him, drop him off to work, go straight down to Kensington Oval, back for an hour with Henderson Springer, back for another hour with Emerson Truckman or Dexter Topping, and then training would start around 10 o'clock. And then I would have a little snack that my mom would prepare for me, and then go training like nothing. And no one was knowing that I was training for 2 hours before, and then still training with everyone.
Roston was always positive, and when you make a decision, he wouldn't flip-flop. Like if Roston said he liked something, that is it. Well, of course, I'm very proud, because I think most dads would like the sons to play Test cricket, and to my mind, what you call the pinnacle now of cricket, because I like Test cricket. Test cricket is the ultimate in cricket, right? And to rise to the level of being, because the whole Roston not village, we even call them villages nowadays, but all around where he lived, and people and friends, everybody is almost like out of the minds because we got somebody that we finally know to make it to Test captaincy.
Let's project then towards the current time. You last played Test match cricket in 2023, some 2 years ago. Did you always have that ambition of a red ball return?
Red ball cricket was always my first love because when I grew up, it was never any 2020 or anything like that. Red ball was the ultimate. All the legends were made from red ball cricket. So I always loved red ball cricket. But at that time, after being dropped out of the red ball team, I was more focusing on white ball cricket because, I was doing well in CPL. I got my debut in the World Cup, playing along the likes of Dwayne Bravo and Chris Gayle and those guys. So I really wanted to then venture on into the white ball cricket for a bit. So I didn't really mind. It gave me a little more availability in terms of my time to explore in terms of the white ball cricket, and I wanted to break out into the leagues. So it really gave me a chance to work on my white ball game. But then, I'm 33 years of age now, and Sammy had the conversation with me. So I said, what better time it is than now? I am 33 years old. If I come and play for another 2, 3, 4 years, I'll be, at that age where I'll be looking to probably give up my cricketing career around 37 or so. You never know what can happen. I really thought about it. I had a conversation with my dad. He gave me that calming spirit and, the confidence to accept the job if given. And because I told Sammy I needed a week or so to think about it, and then I went back and had the conversation with him and said, yeah, I would like to have a crack at it.
Give it a crack, yeah. As the West Indies team heads into the next World Test Championship cycle, Roston, it seems to be a reset of sorts. New Test captain, also Darren Sammy will be taking the reins in this format for the first time. What are your expectations then, your realistic expectations of this 2-year World Test Championship cycle, and how can you, working in tandem with Darren Sammy, bring about and realize those ambitions?
Yeah, well, we had a meeting a couple of days ago, and we sat down and I just said, being realistic. Right now we're at number 9 in the rankings. So we don't want to say, oh, we want to be number 1 and stuff like that. We just want to improve in some areas that we sat down and talked about with the analysts, bringing up the stats and data and stuff. And realistically, we are looking at probably between 6th and 4th after this cycle. To realistically do that, we need to win 44% of our matches, and I think throughout this cycle we have 14 matches. So if we could win, say 5, 6 games and probably draw 2 or 3 games, I think we will be in the position that we want to be in terms of that 4th to 6th position. And I think that is a goal that is achievable.
Yeah, so that's sort of a macro perspective over 2 years. If we take this series then against Australia, who just played in that World Test Championship final and no doubt is one of the top test playing nations. If I ask you at the end of that series, let's say we are sitting a day or 2 after the 3rd test, what would satisfy you if this happens?
Well, obviously going into every series, the ultimate goal is to win. But for me, as I said, we had a meeting, we spoke about where we need to improve, the things that we need to do in terms of comparing ourselves to the top 4 teams and what the top 4 teams do in terms of batters and then the bowling side. And we had some data there showing us what we need to do. If we can improve on the areas that we spoke about, I think that we will be in a position where we could win one of the games or draw one of the games. So I could realistically see in it being 1-0 to us and drawing the 2nd game and seeing what happens in the 3rd game. Because the stats have shown that once we improve on those areas, things will happen.
Right.
So it's just for us to trust the process and go out there and give effort. Like Sammy always says this to the team, it doesn't take talent, it doesn't take skill to give effort. So if every man can go out there and give 100% effort and concentrate on what he needs to do and not worry about what a next teammate needs to do or what the opposition needs to do, I think that hard focus will put us in good stead in playing some positive cricket, and we can get a good outcome.
One of my most memorable moments from you, Roston, is that not your batting though, it's your bowling. That 8 for 60 you picked up against England at the Kensington Oval. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's still something that I think about a lot. I mean, because I was talking to some of the guys about Kensington Oval relating to the pitch.
Right.
And I said, Kensington Oval is not really a spinner's wicket. They say, but Chase, you took 8.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I took 8, but the pitch wasn't wagging, the ball wasn't spinning and bouncing. I just, put it down to that, having the confidence in my ability, because I didn't even bowl in the first innings.
Yeah.
I probably bowled like a 1 over or something in the first innings, because the fast bowlers really scared them out. So I wasn't even really thinking about being a threat. And I came on, I got, I think Rory Burns was my first wicket. And then I didn't really put down the ball from then. So yeah, Kensington Oval is my favorite ground to play at. Not because it's my home ground, but I mean, I get a lot of good results personally, individually. And I mean, we've had some great test matches here. I can recall beating England in a series, the first opening game of the series. We won against England. We also beat Pakistan here in another test match. So I mean, I have good memories here. And then obviously to do it in front of your home crowd, your family, your friends will be there watching. Then it's my 50th test match as well. I think it's going to be emotional. But once I could channel that energy in the right direction, I think it will bring out the best in me to come up with a good performance for the team. And I'm just looking forward to it.
Roston, I really want to thank you for your time and sincerely wish you all the best in the upcoming series, but more than that, as you continue along in your career, the 30th Test captain of the West Indies.
Thanks.